What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Oddchopper channel, coming to you with another edition of MLB and NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. My Vikings took an offensive lineman. That's good. You had inside of 6.5 picks, Ashton Genty. I needed that badly. I needed it just to break even. If he goes 3, 4, 5, I make a ton of money, but that's okay. And then, of course, you have Shedeur Sanders go outside of 14.5 picks. That was very good for me. And Carolina, first player taken, McMillan, wide receiver. That was plus 550. Posted that over on X for all of the people. But anyway, you don't care about the NFL draft. You care about MLB and NBA. And let me tell you, Logan O'Hoppe is an awesome human being. Thank you for him to hit a bomb. Corbin Burns, awful sixth inning, ended up on the over of 18.5. And then the thing I want to talk about the most, what are people doing in the comment section? Garrett Crochet got to 9 strikeouts. We got the over of 7.5, over of 8.5, and then over 9.5 was the only quarter unit, talked about it yesterday on the ladder, that missed. And people were going nuts in the comment section, and it almost makes me want to quit my job. But you know what? I'm not going to, because I'm really good at it, and I'm going to make you money over any long-term sample size. So anywho, Lindy 5, if you guys want to jump in the Discord and actually, win money, that'd be great. Oh, Lindy 5. $5 for your first week. I would try to make it as affordable as possible. If you don't want to continue on, go ahead. Disappeared. That's fine. But Lindy 5 is a great opportunity to jump in, get all of my plays. And hey, Charmorant gets hurt today in the pick 6 streets. That absolutely sucks. I hate it. It doesn't help. But he was absolutely going to smash that line. It is what it is. You got to put the best plays forward. And that's what I'm going to do every single day in, day out. 365 or it's more like 358. I missed like one day of posting so far this year. Just saying. Lindy 5, $5 for your first week. Lindy and Friends Discord. But it's myself, Eitan Shander, Greg Ehrenberg. Awesome time to jump in. The link below. But anywho, we got MLB and then NBA to talk about. 15 games in the MLB streets, 3 in the NBA. I'm going to talk super fast today. Let's start with the leans in the MLB. Producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. And right off the bat, we got Baltimore in a bigger ballpark than normal out here in Detroit. We got Casey Mize, who's looked all right so far to start off this season, 250 xWOBA, like what I've seen. And Brandon Young, he's one of those guys, 6'6", towering dude, 26 years of age, but never really made it into the big leagues until now. And there's a couple of reasons why. 1, 6.94 expected ERA this season, 26 when you're making your major league debut. The game's probably passed you by. And 2, he's got no swing on miss and any pitch besides his changeup. So we're probably going to stay away. Under 8.5, though, my lean, because it could be a quick hook on him going right to the bullpen for Baltimore. We got the Mets and Washington Nationals up next here. I look at this one. It's kind of a fascinating case study in what is the field going to do? And by the field, I mean the public. And the public, what are they going to do here when you've got a pitcher that I think is pretty proven in Kadai Senga, who I absolutely love, and then somebody who I definitely don't in Jake Irvin. Now, Kadai Senga, the one main thing is lefties. They are starting to get after the ghost fork a little bit. I want to accumulate sample size, though. I really don't want to go too crazy, baby. Don't forget that boy told you kick that dirt off your shoulder. So we're going to keep it close to the vest. Boston money line going up against the Cleveland Guardians. It's Houck versus Lively. Not a big, Ben Lively fan or Blake Lively, although she was hot once upon a time. 44% hard hit, 19.1 degree launch angle for him. Tanner Houck on the other side, 50% hard hit, 16.4% K rate. Everything from last year might have been a little bit of smoke and mirrors. 4.11 expected ERA, 3.12 actual ERA. This year, 7.66 actual ERA. 4.99 expected ERA. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. I say that a lot, but it's true in baseball. The Angels taking on my Twins. The Angels having to travel from the West Coast out into Minnesota here. Looks like decent enough weather. I have Minnesota money line / Minnesota -1.5 purely because of this. I don't know. I do want to try to invest there. Minnesota buy super low, and then you get Pablo Lopez, 4 kids, and I got to take all of that ass to showbiz against Kyle Hendricks. Yeah. I got to try to make that a thing, although my Minnesota Twins cause me physical pain. Next, we got the next batch of leans here, and that is producer Jacob firing up Cincy in Colorado. You have a high variance baseball game. We have a pretty darn good starting pitcher on the Cincinnati side. I love Andrew Abbott, 216 xWOBA, 40% K rate to start off the season, but 14.3% barrel percentage, fly ball pitcher. You know how that works out in Colorado from time to time. Not ideal. Plus, his curveball is the main offering. You get into altitude and it never feels good. As for Kyle Freeland, 296 xWOBA. Freeland here, he's been pitching really well. Southpaw, 3.4% barrel percentage for him. But you get guys like Austin Wynns, 691 expected slugging at the bottom of this lineup. You do get Ellie De La Cruz to his weaker right side. Matt McClain out there, Austin Hayes. Yeah, we're probably going to look at props more than anything else there. We have Rowdy Tellez home run, Fernando Tatis home run, and Matt Tice home run. That is Miami, Seattle, Rays, San Diego, White Sox, A's. Now, we do have two of those lines out. I think the Tatis one is very, very close to making the card, but I will throw this out. Seattle, you get into a very difficult spot when you have a lower run creation ballpark and Cal Quantrill, who's actually been bad to both sides, and gives up a little bit of launch there, 10.8 degree launch angle, 10.9% barrel percentage. Those match up kind of nicely. Rowdy Tellez was an absolute goat up in Toronto for us. We end up cashing that plus 650 last second, 12th inning home run. But Tatis, I think, is the most interesting. And Matt Tice, I think he'll end up catching, but unless you're going to bet at somewhere other than FanDuel, where FanDuel has the best odds, I want to wait for that lineup card to come out. As for Texas and San Francisco, to round it all together, birds of a feather now, we've got Eovaldi and Justin Verlander going in this one. And Justin Verlander hasn't had the best stuff, but limiting hard contact, 35.5%. Great home ballpark here in San Francisco. And Texas is without their best lefty in Corey Seager with that hamstring injury. As for Texas, Nathan Eovaldi going deep into games, only like 2 walks all season long, 26.3% K rate. I'm probably just going to hang tight. So first 5 under 3.5. If it wasn't juiced minus 135, if it was minus 125, it would be on the card. But we do have a first 5 under 3.5 coming up in a couple seconds. But first, let's get to the like section now. Philadelphia Phillies taking on the Chicago Cubs. First thing you always want to do when you've got a game in Wrigley, take a look at the weather now. Birds of a feather now. Looks okay, pretty neutral, not wind blowing out in some substantial way. And it's Taijuan Walker versus Colin Rea. And Taijuan Walker is absolute dog doo-doo. And in fact, I have 2 run lines. We're 1-1 on run lines the entire season. I really don't bet them a lot anymore, and here's why. The VIG has been increased on them in a way where I really don't appreciate what sportsbooks are doing. If you've paid attention, I did have a post about this. It's around a 6% hold on normal strikeout props on FanDuel right now. I was paying very close attention to this. It was like minus 130 and even money. That is a nearly 6% hold. It's egregious. And that's kind of what we're running into in the run line department. So it's like money lines, first 5s, or passing on games entirely. Now, Colin Rea, he pitched great in that wind out, ridiculous Arizona outing. Him and Corbin Burns next to each other. Corbin Burns, I'm mad at you for tonight, but that's not either here nor there. We're talking about Taijuan Walker. And Taijuan Walker, 35% hard hit percentage looks good. 387 expected slugging looks good. But small sample sizes are the devil. Last year, 7.09 expected ERA. This season, 3.76 expected ERA, 2.29 actual ERA. That's great. But he's faced the Colorado Rockies at home. He faced the Atlanta Braves in Atlanta in cold weather. He faced the San Francisco Giants in Philly with the wind blowing in. And then he faced the Miami Marlins at home. Those are 3 really soft places to land. And I'll say Atlanta, I'll still give the benefit of the doubt and make it like 3-1. This is neutral Chicago Cubs weather. I gotta be on the Cubs at plus 160 on the run line, just hoping they jump on him early. Now, the first 5, the reason I'm skipping that is the Phillies bullpen has been the 3rd worst in baseball. I keep bringing that out. Jose Alvarado, been absolutely abysmal. If it isn't Matt Strom, I don't trust it out of the Phillies bullpen. And Chicago, been decent enough where I'm happy to just move along with it. So the Cubbies on the run line, minus 1.5, our first play on the MLB slate. Let's talk a homer, shall we? Toronto taking on the Yankees in this one. On the Yankee side, you should know by now, if Carlos Carrasco's on the mound, I'm probably finding ways to take advantage. Now, it's Jose Barrios on the other side. He's been the guy I've targeted the most in my life. 466 expected slugging this season, 350 xWOBA. Maybe something jumps out at me a little bit later, but these are 2 pitchers I really don't trust. I almost ended up on the total, but it went 9.5 at open. Do you know how gigantic that is in neutral New York Yankees weather? That's crazy, but that tells you how bad these 2 starting pitchers have been. But let's focus on this. Carlos Carrasco, 91.6 miles per hour, average exit velocity off the bat, not good. 13.2% barrel percentage, not good. 488 expected slugging, just a 16.7% K rate, not good. You know, it's been really good and surprisingly under the radar. George Springer, 53.2% hard hit, 533 expected slugging. We're going to a Springer dinger, friends. It is plus 560 on FanDuel at open. No way he's not in the lineup, so fire it up now. Don't worry about that. That's it. And next on our banker card, we got the Houston Astros taking on the Kansas City Royals. And we got two back-to-back plus money numbers coming your way. And Hayden Wesneski getting a lot of respect. Now, Kansas City, bullpen a little tax. They go on a back-to-back here against Colorado on Thursday. Now you got Friday. I get it. But Hayden Wesneski, 50% hard hit, 15.4 degree launch angle. As bad as Seth Lugo's been to start off the season, still finding ways to be okay. 3.90 ERA, 4.46 expected ERA, Only a 17.4% K rate, but it's not like he was going to get a ton of strikeouts against Houston anyway, and it's going to be a ton of righties in that lineup. Basically, only Jordan Alvarez. They need to figure their shit out here and figure out how to put together a baseball team. Have a couple more lefties in your lives. Just saying, spice up your life a little bit. Now I'm thinking of Spice Girls. I was a big, I like Sporty Spice, but I'm more of a Baby Spice guy. Probably why I married a hot blonde. Anyway, we got ourselves a very nice one here. Kansas City money line, plus 115. Starting pitcher extraordinary here. Again, first five, it's a little bit shorter. Don't really want to go there. So Kansas City money line, I like it. We continue on our merry way. Milwaukee taking on St. Louis, and I'm just going to throw this in. Milwaukee money line, super easy, super straightforward, super square, but I don't really care. I don't get how we're getting plus money here in this spot. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that Liberatore has been giving the ground ball contact at times. But now, 13.4 degree average launch angle. And Chad Patrick, not a huge fan of his. Tons of fly ball contact. But we're getting plus money against the St. Louis lineup that's missing, I don't know, a number of pieces. Obviously, Wilson Contreras back in our lives. But Ivan Herrera, it's a huge downgrade having to go to Pedro Pajes or anybody else that might be catching, although Wilson Contreras, pretty good, confirmed. Lars Nootbaugh, a number of these guys, but I like the Milwaukee side of this one. Give me the plus money. Both pens are not good. Both pens are not good. Milwaukee money line, plus 118 at Profit X. That is nice stuff. Atlanta, minus 1.5. The Atlanta Braves taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Pay attention. The roof is still open. We got Arizona here, and that's the thing to pay attention to the most. And I got a little aggressive with Corbin Burns. I felt good about that read for what it's worth. And thank you, Logan O'Hoppe, for still making the evening profitable. But that's neither here nor there. We're looking at Zach Gallen versus Chris Sale. Two really good pitchers, and an 8.5 total, regardless of that fact. That should really send alarm bells into your system. But I'm getting Chris Sale versus Zach Gallen at a pretty normal cost. We got to do it, friends. We got to do it. Minus 118 on DraftKings. Chris Sale, he's still been decent. 29.1% K rate, 36.8% hard hit percentage. And yes, our guy Corbin Carroll has been at the top of this lineup, still smashing souls. But Josh Naylor faces a lefty. Pavin Smith ends up out of the lineup in order to put Randall Grichuk out there, who has been smashing the baseball, 61.9% hard hit. But you still get Pavin Smith out of that lineup, who has a 436 xWOBA. That's really good stuff. So overall, Atlanta money line, yay. Producer Jacob, yay. Next game. Two more to get to. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and we've got back-to-back interesting things. But last play of the MLB slate, because, I do think the Indy thing, well, we're going to talk Boston, Orlando first. Anyway, before we get to the NBA, last of the slate, it is main event in Los Angeles, California. We've got Paul Skeens versus Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 244 xWOBA. Paul Skeens, 237 xWOBA. Take the under of 3.5 right now at minus 110. I know 3.5 is a low number. I get the Dodgers have a lot of lefties who can just cause pain and suffering immediately to Skeens, but you're not going to get many half-unit spots like this all season long. I love these two starting pitchers. I think they're two of the best 5 starting pitchers in baseball. I said it before the season. I thought Yoshi was going to have a ridiculous year. Paul Skeens, I think everybody thought was going to have a ridiculous year. Jam the under. Thank me later. Pittsburgh. No ammunition in the kitchen. Jack Sawinski sent to AAA. That was another wild one. But first 5, under 3.5, -110 at DK. Let's get to NBA. But first, Bet365. It's damn good finals. I'll get to you one more time. Get low by depositing just $10. If you're in one of these great states, Iowa, Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Illinois, Louisiana, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky, and North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off, twist it around your head, spin it like a helicopter, and then bet 5, get 150 in bonus bets, win or lose. All you do, deposit $10 or more, minimum odds of -500 or greater. So any money line on this entire MLB slate or NBA slate, you simply bet it, $5 or more, get 150 in bonus bets instantly. That's a ridiculous deal. Down at the link below. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks we go. NBA time. Let's get to it. Jason Tatum doubtful for the Boston Celtics. Only five that they are going to be laying here in Orlando. And Orlando, SeaWorld, and Disney, and putt-putt golfing. That's Book of Mormon for the people. But Drew Holiday questionable as well? What? This is the playoffs. I thought Peyton Pritchard would be available. He's not available as of recording this right now. Props, keeping it close to the vest, because if Drew's out, Peyton Pritchard could definitely start. Like, they've shown at times that they don't want to. They could maybe go Sam Hauser for like 4 minutes, but we did see later in the season Peyton Pritchard get a couple of his first starts. Portland, you saw one that occurred in Golden State. So keep it on your radar. But Boston here, this is a short number, and yet I am looking at the Orlando side purely because they keep everybody intact outside of Jalen Suggs, who's already been out for the year. Mo Wagner already out for the year. If Drew Holiday ends up out, who ends up on Franz Wagner when they switch? Sam Hauser? Peyton Pritchard? These are not great pick and roll switches. These are not good situations for Boston to be in, and I would take the points, but I think Drew plays as of right now. I don't want to go crazy, baby. Don't forget that boy told you kick that dirt off your shoulders. So, yeah, Orlando +5 going to be the lean for now, but only NBA game I don't have a play from yet. Let's get to the next one. Indy at Milwaukee, another Eastern Conference showdown here, 3-6. And Milwaukee, hey, Damian Lillard came back. I do think there's a world where we fire up Damian Lillard props based on the fact that he played 37 minutes in the first game back. Pay attention, 28.5 points plus assists. We've got 22.5 points. I'm going to be paying very close attention here. Mainly, the only reason I haven't bet it yet is I think we probably have Milwaukee try to reduce his minutes a little bit at home. Down 0-2, got some stuff to do. I don't know. I'm not completely sold that they want to play him like 42 minutes here. So numbers kind of adjusted. They got to see how many minutes Damian Lillard played as well. It's not like they don't know. Not projecting as well as I wanted. But that all being said, I think Indy is the right side of this one. +5.5, neutral floor. We just saw Indy wipe Milwaukee out, other than end of a fourth quarter where they just kind of coasted it as much as they could. They've been the better team for 7 of 8 quarters. 7.5 of 8 quarters, really. So Indy +5.5, going to be a like for me. Half unit play. Let's get to the last one of the night. It's my boy Ant in Minnesota against the Lakers, saying his dick is bigger than everybody else. So over 26.5 points, -110 everywhere. Bet it. Is that good analysis? Let's go to bed. It's the weekend. And that does it for another edition of MLB and NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button for me. Obviously, put in the comment section below your favorite plays for this slate. But 20 minutes, nice and tight here for producer Jacob. I appreciate it. I'd appreciate you guys. If you wanted to check out the Discord, get all of my plays, come talk shit, come kick it with me. Whatever you want to do, well, the world's your oyster. Lindy 5 down at the link below. Thank you, producer Jacob. A week in the books. He's back from Europe. I bet you appreciate it. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB and NBA streets on Friday.